Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. All right, so with that said, trackies, I'm back with another video and I have two topics that I want to discuss in today's video. No, one of them, of course, huge congratulations are in effect for Shericka Jackson and being nominated for the prestigious Laureus World Sportswoman of the Year award. Wow! Absolutely phenomenal year Shericka had in 2023. And on the back of that, she's been nominated for so many awards. World Athletics, Sportswoman of the Year award. And of course, in 2023, clearly for the 2024 Laureus Sportswoman of the Year award, she's also been nominated again. Now, she did walk away with the Jamaican prestigious Athlete of the Year award, the RJR version. So, really great year for Shericka, winning gold in the women's 200 meters back to back, also running the fastest time so far, well, of anybody living, 21.41 seconds, very close to the world record. And again, when you talk about conditions, you could say if the conditions were better wind, we could have seen that world record get dismantled by Shericka Jackson. But it is what it is, you know what I mean. She holds three of the fastest times ever in history when it comes to the women's 200 meters trackies. So with that said, that Shericka Jackson also walked away with a silver medal in the women's 100 meters and, of course, assisted Team Jamaica to a silver medal in the 4x100 meters. With that said, also, she was ranked, I believe, in the world maybe number 2 overall in the sports of athletics. So, with that said, rightly so, she's been, recognized for her phenomenal achievements and rightly so again, nominated for Laureus World Sportswoman of the Year. So, trackies, I'm going to share my screen so that you can see who else, is also nominated. And you're going to also find this very interesting, right, trackies? So, let me share my screen so you know what Shericka is up against. Yeah, because again, it's a nomination and clearly they're going to be choosing the best in the world. It's Laureus World. So, they take into consideration every sport and the phenomenal athletes that are in these sports, right? So, with that said, let me go ahead and share my screen. So those are the athletes, as you can clearly see on the screen, that are nominated for the Laureus World Sportswoman of the Year. Now, right off the back, you see Aitana Bonmati, right? I hope I said this right. No, she's from Spain, footballer. No, y'all know Spain walked away with the World Cup win for the women. So absolutely phenomenal achievement as a team. Trackies, no, as it relates to her personally, it would depend on, how incremental she was in the win for Spain. No, I'm not gonna lie, I checked out after Jamaica dropped out, so I don't really know how incremental she was. I don't even know who she is, to be fair. But again, Spain won, so clearly this is a big deal, and she must have had some kind of pivotal role in the wins for Spain for her to be even here in the first place. So again, this is a big deal here. Now, also you see there, from athletics, we have Shericka Jackson. She's Jamaican. Then we have Faith Kipyegon, athletics Kenya. Now, I've already gone over what Shericka did last season. Faith Kipyegon last season had a phenomenal year. Talking about shattering, 3 world records. We're talking about the 1500 meters, the mile, and the 5000 meters. Though towards the end of the season, she lost the 5000 meters to a Ethiopian athlete. But with that said, still a phenomenal year. Walked away with double gold at the World Championships in the 1500 meters and the 5000 meters. So Faith Kipyegon had a phenomenal year and she was ranked number 1 in the world in the sport of athletics for women overall for the season and walked away with the World Athletics, Athlete of the Year award as well for the women. So with that said, although, they kind of changed things up, which I didn't really like how they did for the World Athletics. I believe that they should have one, even if you want to have sectional awards, that's fine, but you need to have one overall winner of the main prize. And, I think they need to figure things out a bit more. But with that said, Faith Kipyegon also had a phenomenal year. Then we have, ding, 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 Sha'carri Richardson also nominated here. No, she's also had a phenomenal year. First ever time to a global championships, and she walked away with gold, running her fastest time ever, 10.65 seconds in the women's 100 meters. So she was world champion in the, I guess, the blue ribbon event. You would say it's ranked higher than the 2 for sure, right, in terms of prestige, right? So with that said, she walks away with that coveted title. She also assisted Team USA to gold again in the 4x100 meters, and she walked away with bronze in the women's 200 meters. So fantastic running by Sha'carri Richardson last season as well, and she's rightly nominated again for this title. But with that said, Trekkies, while I do have Faith Kipyegon there ranked number one, and I believe Shericka was ranked number two, I believe Sha'carri was ranked, I believe maybe fourth or fifth in the world in the sport of athletics, that is, right? So now, Trekkies, when we look at the athlete that is in fourth place, she is an athlete that does the skiing. She's Michaela Schifrin, and she's also from the United States of America. Don't know her, don't know much about her, but I'm assuming that she's also a winner in the sport as well. And then we have Iga Swiatek. Oh, I know I butchered that. She plays tennis and she's from Poland, and she currently ranks number one in the world in the sport of tennis. So clearly an athlete as well that clearly must have been racking up some wins globally when it comes to tennis. So that said, that is what the athletes that are in the sport of athletics are up against. Really, really good contenders from the rest of the world in their, individual sport. With that said, I'm actually excited seeing that 3 athletes from the sport of athletics made it to this list. Great. You know what I mean? So that's good. That's a good look for the sports of track and field, right? With that said, trackies, when I look at the sports of athletics, I always thought Faith Kipyegon was ranked higher than any other athlete, female wise, in the world last season. And my opinion doesn't change with this nomination for Shericka Jackson as well. I do believe Faith Kipyegon still ranks higher than Shericka Jackson and of course Sha'carri Richardson. So with that said, if I'm going with Faith Kipyegon, to potentially be the highest ranked female athlete here from the sport of athletics, then she comes up against, Aitana from Spain in football, and of course, the skiing athlete from the United States, and of course, the tennis athlete from Poland. So, with that said, those are my thoughts. While I'm really happy that, of course, Shericka Jackson is getting the highlight she, quite rightly deserves, I do believe Faith Kipyegon is the higher ranked athlete here in the sport of athletics. Now, Chuck is moving on to the other topic that I quickly want to discuss in this video, and I'm going to share my screen again so that you all can see what I want to talk about here. So in this one, it's a really interesting take that World Athletics is doing right now, where they're trying to, I guess, switch things up to create a bit more drama in the sport, and that's in the field events, where they're trying to introduce a new format, right, when it comes to the long jump. So I'm going to share my screen again so that you all can see exactly what it is that is going on here. And then I'm going to get into my thoughts as it relates to, do I think this is viable, yes or no, right? So let's go. So with that said, World Athletics are planning a new trial. World Athletics is planning a new trial format to the long jump. This is after data from the World Championships in Budapest highlighted a third of the attempts were no jumps. Instead of the takeoff board, there will be a takeoff zone, and it will be trialed at lower level competitions this season. Jumps would then be measured from the front of the takeoff foot within that zone. Speaking on this particular topic, World Athletics CEO John Region stated, "We'll measure from where the athlete takes off to where they land in the pit. That means every single jump counts. It adds to the jeopardy and drama in the competition. We'll spend this year testing it in real life circumstances with very good athletes. If it doesn't pass testing, we'll never introduce it. At the same time, we are working out ways we can get instant results so that you don't have to wait 20/30 seconds before the results pops up." Now, I like this little last bit where they talk about the results popping up. I want them to get to the stage where, it happens instantly, because again, with how technology is moving right now, I don't know why in some facets of track and field, it seems that they're a bit behind in using technology. So it's good that they're working on ways to get the results pop up quicker. And it's not just for the long jumps. I'm talking about everything when it comes to athletics as well. It does take a time for the actual result to come up on the screen, especially when you have those near races where the race is very close. It does take sometimes really, really long. Sometimes you may never even get the results coming up. I remember recently I was watching, I believe, Antonique Strawn in a race indoors, and the result never came up. I had to go to World Athletics to get the time, got that time, recorded my video, went back and checked the results again, a bit later, and the result was completely different. Right. So that's wild to me. You know what I mean? So clearly they need to work on that facet. But anyway, let's get into this new trial format for the long jump. right? And them claiming that it would add to the drama and drama in the competition. For me, track is, I don't know. I'm kind of old school with a lot of things, and I don't think I'll change when it comes to how I view rules in life, right? And I feel like as we're progressing and as time passes, we tend to be removing rules, right, and making things easier for athletes than saying that this adds to the drama. How does removing rules add to the drama? The whole reason of the rules being there is why it's so dramatic, because it's a do or die situation where you have to make sure you hit that board, and if you don't hit that board correctly, then either one, your jump gets registered much lower than it could potentially be, or two, you foul the jump, right? So with that said, when we start talking about a takeoff zone, for me, completely, I do not agree. I think this is nonsense. 100%, I think it's a nonsense rule, and I do not think it will pass testing, right? I don't know who thought that this would be a good idea, but again, if we start to make things easier and easier, that doesn't make it more competitive, or make it more, or build drama in the sport, or make me want to watch it more than I am watching it. No, you know what I mean? So I don't agree with it. And then we start to liken it to other sports. Again, we keep doing things to make other events, I guess, easier. While when you look on the opposite spectrum, when you look at the events that are done on this track, it's not necessarily been made easier. So yes, I do see where they've implemented a few rules that we talk about. When you step on the line, right, you're given a few chances to step on the line, right? And before being dubbed as a foul run, and you're just disqualified, right? But with that said, even so, if I take a look at the false start rule, that is a major rule that a lot of people have a question marks over, if that's really assisting the sport of track and field. So yes, I know that there are people out there that purposefully start and try to rattle the rest of the purposefully false start and try to rattle the rest of the crowd. But with that said, is it really a viable rule that is assisting the sprints, right? So if I'm supposed to take this new format and apply it to the sprints, we can say, okay, there's no such thing as false starts. And then, so depending on how quickly you get out, we'll just subtract that time down to whatever the standard time is that you'd say for everybody is supposed to get out of the blocks in. We subtract that extra little time that got out better than everybody else, and then the time at the end of the day will be the time for your sprint race, right? That's my opinion, and that will work for every event. Do you see how nonsensical that sounds? It sounds crazy, right? So that's the same thing I have here with this long jump. It new format that they're trying to test. To me, it sounds crazy. The last time they tried some thing in the jumps, it clearly didn't work out, and they had to revert, right? So this is another thing that I don't believe is going to work out. But anyway, y'all tell me your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about this new rule, or not new rule, this new format, sorry, that they're trying to test out? Do you think it's viable? Do you think it makes any sense? Let me know your thoughts as usual, trackies. And do not forget to like the video, of course, and subscribe to the channel. I will catch you in the next one. Bye.